Okay, so today we're doing volume and surface area of cones. You'll be able to find the volume and surface area of cones and use real-world problems involving cones. So the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the volume of a prism with the same height and base area as the pyramid. Similarly, the volume of a cone is 1/3 the volume of a cylinder. So what that means is if we have a cylinder and we fit a cone inside of it, a cone is taking up 1/3 less volume, or if I do this and make a cylinder around this, 1/3 of the volume is not being used when it comes to a point. So you do area of the base times the height, divide by 3. Now your base in this situation is a circle, so you're going to do pi r squared h divide by 3. Okay? So let us go ahead and get started. Volume area of the cone, so like we just said, we're going to use pi, sorry, I have to freeze this. You're going to use pi r squared h divide by 3 because it's area, the volume is area of the base times the height divide by 3. Because remember, multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. So we're going to do pi 3.14 times the radius, which is 3 squared, times the height, which is 7, and then you're going to divide that by 3. Okay, so I end up with 65.9 centimeters cubed. All right, so for this next one, it says the exact volume of a cone is 21 pi centimeters, cubic centimeters. It is 65.9. So sometimes they leave it in terms of pi and sometimes they don't, and we've done that before. All right. So a safety cone has a height of 30 inches and a volume of 2009.6 cubic inches. What is the radius? So this time, like the ones in class today, you have to work backwards. So volume equals area of the base times the height divide by 3. So volume equals pi r squared h divide by 3. So we're going to plug in everything from the problem that we know. We know the volume is 2009.6. We know that we're going to leave the pi symbol. We don't know the radius squared, so we're going to leave that. We know the height is 30, and we know we need to divide by 3. Okay, so if I do 30 divided by 3, that gives me 10. So we're going to have 2009.6 equals 10 pi times radius squared. Okay, so now we need to get rid of the radius, or excuse me, get rid of the 10 pi. So we're going to divide both sides by 10 pi. Now at this point you should plug in 3.14 for pi. So we're going to do 2009.6 divided by 10 times 3.14. So 10 times 3.14 is going to be 31.4. So we're going to have 2009.6 divided by 31.4 equals r squared. And when you do that, you get 64 equals r squared, but we don't want r squared, we want r. So square root of 64 is 8, so 8 inches is your radius. Okay, so for the next one, Suzanne is serving yogurt in cone-shaped parfait glasses. The cone-shaped part of the glass is a height of 9 centimeters and the diameter of 7 centimeters. How many cubic centimeters of yogurt can she fill 3 parfait glasses? Okay, so we're going to have to figure out 1 parfait glass, and then we're going to have to multiply that by 3. Okay, so if our diameter is 7, that means our radius is 3.5. We need to do that first. Okay, so the formula is, again, volume equals area of the base times height divide by 3. So you're going to have pi r squared h divide by 3. So 3.14 times 3.5 squared times our height, which is 9, and then we're going to divide that by 3. Okay, that's going to give me 115.395. Now that is the volume for 1 glass, and we are using 3, so that's going to give me 346.185 which rounds to 346.2, and that will be centimeters cubed. Okay, so now we're going on to surface area of a cone. The length from O to A on a right circular cone is called the slant height of the cone. The slant height is the distance between the vertex and a point on the circumference of the base. You could cut the cone along line segment OA to flatten it. You will get a portion of a circle with the center O and a radius that's L units, okay, which is the slant height. A right circular cone is a cone that has a vertex directly above the center of its base. Other cones can have a vertex off to one side as shown. Okay, so they gave you a couple examples there. All right, to find the surface area, you find the sum of the area of its base and the area of the curved surface. The curved surface is called the lateral surface. Okay, so the area of the base is pi r squared, just like we've been doing because it's a circle, okay, where you find the radius of the cone. And then the lateral area is pi r l. So you have pi r squared and then pi r l. Okay, so the whole formula is pi r squared plus pi r, and then l is the lateral slant, or the slant height. Okay, so let's try this one down here. What is the total surface area of the cone? Okay, first of all, it says, what is the exact area of the curved surface? So the curved surface is the pi r l part. So pi is 3.14. They're giving you a radius of 5, and your slant height is 15. So you need to do 3.14 times 5 times 15, and you get 235.5, and that would be its area, centimeters squared. Okay, what is the total surface area? Okay, so we're going to have pi r squared, so that's going to be 3.14 times 5 squared. That's going to give us 78.5. But then we have to add that to the part we just got at the top, which is 235.5. And we get a total of 314 centimeters squared for the total surface area for the two pieces put together. The wrapper of a frozen yogurt cone has an area of 159 square centimeters. The radius of the cone is 4 centimeters. Find the slant height, okay? So we're going to have to work backwards. And now we're not covering the circle. If we just need the slant height, we only have to use the pi r l part of the formula. So pi r l. So pi is 3.14. Our radius is 4. We don't know the slant height, but we know that we have 159. Okay, so we're going to do 3.14 times 4. That's going to get us 12.56, so we multiply these two together. So 12.56 L equals 159. Now we need to divide both sides by 12.56. So 159 divide by 12.56 gives me 12.69, or the slant height is 12.7, and that would be centimeters. Okay, I'm going to read this last one to you, and then I'm going to have you try it on your own. A cone-shaped roof has a radius of 14 feet and a slant height of 17 feet. The roof is covered completely with glass. Okay, so you're going to have to figure out, you're going to have to use the formula pi r l again. And then once you figure out the area, you're going to need to multiply that by 40 to get how much it's going to have to pay you. There's no base on this. This is not covered in glass, so that's why you're only doing this part, not the circle. Okay, so pi r l. So I'm going to turn it off. You're going to try it, and then we'll go over it together. Okay, so pi r l, 3.14 times 14 times 17 gives me 747.32. We then know that's how many, that's our surface area, and then we need to multiply that by $40 because it's $40 per square foot. And we get $29,892.80. Okay, so have a good night.